There is a joke which you might have heard as well. And the joke tells, like, if you're married, you can solve problems together, which you wouldn't have had if it stayed alone. So this is, of course, the way how to see it. How to solve problems is not to get into them and not to get married. And yes, it's a way how to see things. On the other hand, there are a few arguments which are rather on the mental level, why marriage has some beautiful aspects in it. And on the other side, on the subtle level, talking about your meditation, talking about your inner balance. I want to talk about the mental aspects first. So if you don't get married, you find it easier to finance your life. Maybe, yes. If you don't get married, you're not depending, you don't have to wait for anybody. The backside of the medal is nobody waits for you either. So it can be a very lonely life, not when you're young, because when you're young, you go out, you are fit, you meet people. But what is happening when you get older? What is going to happen then when you can't move that well? Just guess you need a bit of a help. So this creates some problem, which of course can be solved by making groups and all that, but it's not the same. We all know that for our family members, we especially care. There is a difference thing if somebody is your son or your daughter or your father or your grandfather. There's a special care which we have for those people, which others won't have. And there's a more of a selfless care. And so it's, of course, as long as you're young, not to be married has maybe some advantages, and you only see the advantages. But later on in life, you might see the backside of the medal very much stronger and even stronger and even stronger. So this is on the mental level, the arguments. But there is something on the subtle level, which of course goes much deeper. Because why is there husband and wife? Why is there female and male existing on Earth? Is there anything that the evolution might have planned for us? Why it is good to have male or female? Could it be that male and female is one and the same part, and just in different expressions? And in order to substitute whatever the other part is missing, you need the other part. So, for example, in our inner system, you have heard about, we have the left side, which is the desire and which is the past. And you have the right side. This is the action and the future. And we have the center, which is the balance. So if you only have desire, what will happen to the action? And if you only have action without heart in it, without anything which drives you, without any motivation, without desire behind it, how will you end up? So it definitely makes sense that there is a second part in your life. And this second part could be your wife or your husband, depends who you are. So for the fulfillment of the Nabi chakra, which is the center and the stomach, you definitely need somebody in your life to help for this fulfillment. For example, we know that the left side of the Nabi chakra is represented by the housewife. So, but if there is no housewife, if there is no wife, so how can the left Nabi of a man be okay? Same with the right side of a lady. If there is no right side, if the right side is completely missing, so there's something missing. And in order to be balanced, it's good to have a balanced married life and also to have children or child in China. Maybe it's children now. And if you have children, they create a lot of fun. And also the children, they bring something into your life which is forgotten sometimes. And what is forgotten is the innocence. Children have this very innocent attitude, and when we watch them, when we see how they act, then something comes into our head which we might have forgotten already. So there's a big advantage of having children. Another argument on the mental level is, of course, if you grow older, so who is going to take care of you? And many people say, well, the government. But who is the government? The government exists out of people who live in that country. And if you have no children, then who is going to pay your pension? But I don't know. As long as you are young, you don't care for such things. But as a father, being a father of 3 children, I need to tell you, it's so fantastic to have children in the house. And yes, it is work. Yes, they're becoming more and more expensive the older they get. But the things that you're getting back is so beautiful, is so fantastic. And I would never like to miss it. But if you want to feel really complete, I think it's worth to take this challenge. It is a challenge in life to have a family. It is not such an easy life for the time being, but you're producing something which has an eternal value. To have children is something fantastic. And I heard a story of a Chinese who told me, actually it's a lady, who told me, I'd rather sit in the back of a BMW crying than on the back of a bicycle laughing. And I think there's something wrong with the attitudes, because if you follow this, you will find out the matter always sits on our head. The matter by itself has the quality to never make us satisfied. The more matter you acquire, the more matter you want. We cannot make anything living out of the matter. The matter is dead by itself. And we change matter. And because we can change matter, we think we own matter, we possess matter. But actually, matter possesses us. And I'm saying this as somebody who lives on the Western hemisphere of the earth. And I know that the matter is really sitting on the heads of the people. And the spirit, our true self, is getting lost by that. The matter takes control. The matter takes control of everything. And the matter does not allow you to be satisfied. That's the principle of the market. If you ever would be satisfied, then the market would not work anymore. Every year, all the countries, they measure the percentage of plus they have made and their products, and where does it go to? That's a soap bubble. It's a soap bubble which sits on our heads and which bursts, which can burst anyone. Actually, I think it has burst already. It popped. This bubble popped. Yeah, this bubble went pop. And we are just now being confronted in the whole world, and also in China maybe, with this bubble being popped. And if you want to play into that game, that matter sits on your head, then you just see that point and go on with it. But the problem is that the Nadi chakra itself is not going to be satisfied. It's not going to be happy with the answer you gave to life about it. And then there's so many effects which will stress you out, which will create problems. But talking about stress, this is something I will talk about in the next session.